My babies, last video of this book. I think this book gave me a solid 200, maybe. Should I check? All right, I'm gonna check with you guys. Holy shit, yeah. It gave me at least, this book gave me at least 200 videos. So, today's video is expression. Verbally expressing your feelings or emotionally expressing your feelings. An awkward journey of communicating first words, then emotion. Expression. Verbally expressing your feelings or emotionally expressing your feelings. So here I'm creating like a separation. Like when we're trying to say when we're trying to express verbally versus when we're trying to express emotionally. Oh, yes. An awkward journey of communicating first words, then emotions. What is the difference between emotions and feelings? Emotions are a response to feelings, right? And feelings are a response to external triggers. And emotions are either responses to feelings or reactions to emotional triggers. If an emotion is a reaction to an external trigger, that means you have feelings that are not processed, which means the trigger skips the feeling, which is the understanding, and jumps directly to the emotion. I love this. Created basically the most efficient way for you to realize that this is a trigger is through how you react emotionally. And but if you understand your feelings towards triggers, regardless of what they are, then any emotional expression is based on your understanding of that feeling. Cool. But here, verbally expressing your feelings or emotionally expressing your feelings is a feeling can be expressed in both ways. It can be expressed emotionally or verbally. I'm saying verbally, right? Because it's words. But I can express a feeling through, I don't know, like a lot of people speak with their eyes, right? They're able to like a lot of people are able to like communicate. You like there's physical communication, there's dance communication, there's music. There are many ways for us to express. But I think the easiest form is language, mainly because everyone can speak, right? Or at the very least, everyone has their way, has their language to express, whether it's sign language, words. And then from there, it's the one thing I'm thinking about, right? Because like if you have one of your senses missing, then ultimately you're having a different way to communicate with people, which is a language that people would understand. So and then I say an awkward journey of communicating. And here I think first words, then emotion. But what I said earlier when I was describing a feeling could either basically be could create an emotional response, or a feeling could be expressed in words. So let's look at it this way. If you're not able to express your feelings through words, then you're going to express it through emotions. Now, it's always a choice for us not to express in words. Could express through emotions, and other people could understand. There's a high chance people don't really understand. So the idea behind it is expression is truly a translation of your response to a trigger, be it an emotional one or basically a verbal response or an emotional response. Overall, what we have is the outside world and the inside world. If you're in the inside world, do we have feelings? I don't think so. I think when we're sitting with ourselves, purely, right? Because most of the time when we're sitting with ourselves, we're either thinking of the past, thinking of the future, which means we're basically simmering in experiences that we either had or want of the outside world. So you're not really sitting with yourself in the inside world. You're, you're probably just looking at what the inside world is holding on to. And that inside world is probably going to be filled with a whole lot of crap from the outside world. Some crap is beautiful, man, but it's still crap, right? I don't know, the birth of your child, one of those beautiful moments. But in memory, right? Uh, it generates a feeling. But if you just don't think about it, then there are no feelings. It's just kind of like that vacancy, that emptiness, that that space, that maybe looks forward to get filled, I guess. Because if you're just sitting, so here I read a story about monks that meditate for days on end and eventually just meditate themselves out of this world. And it kind of makes sense because if all you want to do is spend time in like emptiness, vacancy, just peace, just calm, and all that stuff, then effectively what happens is there's no point in you existing in this world at all, correct? It serves no purpose. Your choice is this, the self, yourself, the emptiness, the consciousness that just kind of exists everywhere. And you become like, you're not trying to understand it, you're not trying to experience the world. You're just kind of like, I'm good. That's probably what death is, right? Just emptiness. So effectively, happiness, since it's a response of the external triggers, then what we're trying to do is is build a skill that allows us to express ourselves based on the interactions that we have, which I'm calling triggers right now. The reason why it's awkward, it's because you have no. It's awkward because you're building that relationship between how the space inside you is absorbing and whether it's a relevant way for you to absorb. Like, no, I could lose my shit and start yelling, right? It's an expression. I'm expressing anger. Anger is an emotion, right? From a feeling. And the feeling is probably like frustration, I guess. But if I return to that feeling or I return to the trigger, then ultimately the next time I express frustration better, or better yet, I no longer am feeling frustration because like, you're kind of going back to source. You're going back to origin. And I feel like it's first you address the words because like you address how you're expressing, and that's going to come out super awkwardly or primitively, let's just say. And that's our reflective state, because the journey of communicating, right? An awkward journey of communicating. We're trying to verbally express our feelings or emotionally express our feelings. And you reflect on the words that you use to express that feeling. Because even when you're angry, you're using words. And then from there, you kind of realize the emotional response that led to them. And if I'm not mistaken, our our effort, our evolution in it is more the expression starts becoming more verbal and less emotional and less of an emotional expression. And the primitive approach is like emotionally expressing and understanding the emotion verbally, whilst the conscious approach or the aware approach becomes expressing ourselves verbally and then consciously understanding the emotion. Shit, man. This is suck. Wow, this is intense. The whole part about that empty space inside of me kind of like touched me in a weird way, in a beautiful way, but still going back to origin. Love you guys. This book is done. Next video would be book 4. Peace! And it's a video. Woohoo!